Welcome to our 2025 State of the Port video. The Port of Tacoma is committed to a thriving working waterfront in Pierce County that supports family wage jobs and helps drive the region's economy.
1, 2, 3!
As the new year began, we took an exciting step in the development of the Port Maritime Center by holding a groundbreaking. It was the culmination of incredible work done in 2024 when teams from the Port and Tacoma Public Schools collaborated on a project that will bring new life and opportunity to the east side of the Foss Waterway. We're building a new front door to the Port of Tacoma, which will help us better connect with our community and grow the next generation of maritime workers. The site includes a new port business office alongside Tacoma Public Schools Maritime 253 Skills Center. Maritime 253 will provide career and technical education to students from across Pierce County. The project is not just about 2 new buildings. It is about building a brighter future for all of Pierce County.
The Port of Tacoma made great strides in 2024, and everything we do is guided by our strategic plan. We focus on economic vitality, organizational success, environmental leadership, transportation advocacy, and community connections. The Port of Tacoma had a strong 2024, and we're well positioned for success in 2025. Our lines of business are container shipping terminals, break bulk and bulk terminals, car imports, and real estate. And the port supports an estimated 42,000 jobs and contributes about $100 million in state and local taxes each year. Most of the marine cargo business is managed by the Northwest Seaport Alliance. Container volumes in the gateway grew 12.3% over 2023. Improved vessel consistency and increased vessel calls contributed to strong container volumes, and the number of international container voyages in the Seattle and Tacoma harbors was the highest level since 2020, with 41 more voyages than in 2023. That means that the goods that you're buying and the things that our factories are making and the crops that our farmers are growing are moving efficiently through your port. And that work supports good jobs and helps Pierce County and our whole country prosper.
Economic vitality means investing in the future. In 2024, we advanced planning to prepare the Blair Waterway for larger vessels. This will help keep our gateway competitive in international shipping business. The Port of Tacoma and the Northwest Seaport Alliance continued design work with the Army Corps of Engineers to deepen this waterway by 6 feet. We will also use some of the clean dredge material for a new habitat site off of Marine View Drive.
In 2024, the port completed master planning for the Early Business Center. It's a tremendous asset on the end of the Blair Hylebus Peninsula that's home to several businesses, including boat builders. A recently completed market analysis will help us plan for future business uses of this unique area of the port, especially those that are water dependent.
The Port Maritime Center is an example of our commitment to organizational success. In partnership with the Tacoma Public Schools, we hit so many milestones in 2024, including design, planning, and site preparation. And it all culminated in a unanimous final approval from the Port Commissioners. The new Port Business Office will also include new commission chambers that are closer to downtown Tacoma, making it easier for the public to attend our meetings. The project provides office space for employees of the Port and the Alliance, and it frees up the Port's current administrative building for new opportunities.
Organizational success includes preparing for emergencies. In 2024, the Port hosted a large-scale emergency response tabletop exercise that included more than 200 attendees representing shippers, government agencies, and first responders. It was the first gathering of its kind in years and allowed the Port and our regional partners to strengthen coordination and communication for incidents in the tide flats. The Port also held an internal tabletop exercise focused on cybersecurity readiness.
In 2024, the Port wrapped up its most complex IT project in 15 years. The new Microsoft Dynamics 365 system moves us closer to an enterprise resources planning system, which will streamline our processes and improve our data collection and reporting. Nearly 50 staff members contributed to the NextGen implementation project.
Embracing the clean energy transition is one of our environmental leadership initiatives. The Port of Tacoma is committed to reaching net zero for greenhouse gas emissions under our direct control by 2040. In 2024, the Port expanded its electric vehicle fleet, including buying an electric yard truck that's also going to be used to demonstrate the technology to industry partners. The Port replaced traditional diesel with renewable diesel, and that reduces emissions across the fleet, including larger vehicles like straddle carriers. The Port and the Alliance are also working to install shore power at more container terminals so ships can plug in and shut off their diesel engines. And data released last year shows a reduction in regional maritime emissions between 2005 and 2021 for both diesel particulate matter and greenhouse gases.
In 2024, the Port of Tacoma made new progress cleaning up legacy industrial contamination in the tide flats. The Port Maritime Center project hit a key milestone in completing the removal of over 27,000 tons of contaminated soil from the site, and we secured permits for the site development 6 months ahead of schedule. In 2024, the Port recovered nearly $10 million from a chemical manufacturer to help cover the cost of remediation, while also gaining EPA funding and Washington Department of Ecology approval to remediate several large properties throughout the tide flats.
Our environmental team did great work in 2024 to make sure the Port's habitat sites continue to thrive, supporting salmon and other wildlife. We added 1,400 more native plants at the Lower Wapato Creek habitat site. Conservation workers removed thousands of invasive plants from the place of circling waters. At Upper Clear Creek, so many birds call the habitat site home that an expert from the Puget Sound Bird Observatory visited to play recorded calls and count how many birds called back. And in 2024, the Port advanced planning for a new fish habitat site called Echo, which will also help with shoreline stabilization.
Transportation advocacy involves support for major projects like completion of SR 167. The Port has long been an advocate for the Puget Sound Gateway program, which will provide key roadway connections to the Port of Tacoma, helping trucks keep moving and reducing congestion for everybody. In 2024, our commissioners approved nearly $16 million toward the final segment of the project that connects Puyallup to Interstate 5. And that brings the Port's total contribution to $30 million. WashDOT's work on 167 is well underway, and construction is visible for traffic approaching the Port.
2024 marked a big milestone for planning the future of the tide flats, the area of Tacoma that includes the Port. In December, after a process of many years, a steering committee that included elected leaders from the City of Tacoma, the Puyallup Tribe of Indians, Pierce County, and the City of Fife, as well as the Port of Tacoma, developed the Tide Flats Sub-Area Plan and sent it to the City Council and Planning Commission for approval. This plan preserves industrial land and cultural resources while promoting habitat restoration and supporting our clean energy transition.
Transportation advocacy also involves working with our neighbors. In 2024, the Port Commission held a joint study session with the Fife City Council. A big topic was the Interstate 5 Port of Tacoma Road interchange, which the city is pursuing with the Port's support. Construction is expected to begin on that project's final stage in 2025.
The Port values community connections, and in 2024, we made progress developing the workforce of the future. The Port's expanded partnership with Workforce Central helped connect nearly 60 people in Pierce County with internships and paid work experiences, like the Palmer Pathways program, which introduces young people to careers in the trades. The Port also hosted tours for high school students, connected with people at career fairs, and supported the Tacoma Youth Marine Foundation.
In 2024, the Port of Tacoma was out and about across all of Pierce County. For Earth Day, the Port partnered with Parks Tacoma for a beach cleanup event that included more than 50 volunteers. We participated in the annual Monkey Shines event to coincide with Lunar New Year, commissioning glass orbs that were hidden around the area. And our team met members of the community at multiple farmers markets across all of Pierce County.
We also welcomed the community of the Port of Tacoma for tours and special events. The Port hosted 17 bus tours in 2024, giving people a close-up look at terminal operations. Our annual free boat tours in August filled up hours after the free tickets became available, and more than 2,000 people came to the Port for Touch a Truck, our popular family-friendly event.
Thank you for your interest in the Port of Tacoma as we work together to help our community thrive. The state of your port is strong, and we look forward to new successes in 2025.